We're going to kind of talk generally about the classes, and we're going to show you the new abilities, but there are big changes coming to each class to kind of help in these modifications. The patch notes are going to be posted on Monday. Tate wanted me to caveat that. They won't be posted at 6 a.m., so just be aware they'll probably come sometime in the afternoon, Austin time, but they will be up on Monday, and they are massive.
Extensive. At last check, it was 38 pages,
yeah,
I
it's
believe.
out of control how long these patch notes are, so be ready put your reading glasses on if you need reading glasses, I suppose.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the changes. So first up, the Assassin and the Shadow. Adding a really cool from stealth ability that's high damage was kind of the intent here. The other big change is removing phase walk from these guys. We think we went a little over the top with mobility, and so we kind of toned that down, but as a kind of, not really replacement, but as a substitute, giving them a really cool high damage ability they can use.
And one of the questions that people saw after coming out of the blog, the forum post where we talked about the phase walk came out, was that we had previously nerfed the cooldown on force speed, which I believe we've reverted that, but it's much shorter now, so that kind of gets some of the mobility back in that direction. But just as a note.
Yep. And again, remember, all the detailed information is on the forums for this, and then even more detailed information will be in the page.
High-level detailed information is on the forums, and then the crazy detail will come in the patch.
Because we could spend 45 minutes talking just about class changes, but we just wanted to kind of show the cool new abilities we've made. So next one is an improvement to Ravage or Blade Barrage. Just instead of making a channeled ability, making it something quicker and faster for you to use.
With really the ultimate goal of, now, if you use a lightsaber and you are a knight or a warrior, you're going to feel that much more. There's no time where you need to stand still and press some buttons.
Exactly.
It's just a high damage murder ball with lightsabers.
So we also a change that kind of replaces vicious throws. So in these animations, it's the back half. You'll notice the first half is kind of the Ravage replacement.
Yep.
But yeah.
Cool.
It's a cool new animation, basically.
And again, we have to give thanks to Nick for making all these GIFs.
He did make all the GIFs.
He's a good man.
Also, if they're bad, judge Nick. Goes both
Harsh.
ways. Goes
Harsh.
both ways, Nick.
Marauder Sentinel, again, there's nothing better than being able to stab people with two lightsabers at once, and so we felt like it was important to continue to be able to do that.
Yeah, well, and it's always good if you're trying to be a little more mobile to be able to make your enemy a little less mobile.
That's true. That's
so
true.
Here's your chance to do that.
Yep. Someone asked Blade Dance for Sentinel. It is worth noting that the changes that happened to Ravage and Blade Barrage are for Marauder, Marauders, Juggernauts, Sentinels, and Guardians. It's all of the Warrior Knight classes. It's the new non-channeled version is for all of them. The animation only showed one of them, one of the advanced classes, but it's for both advanced classes. Just as a note.
The change here for the Sniper and Gunslinger is just, making sure you had range on your stun. We won't talk about where the stun is aimed at on the enemy player, but it's funny nonetheless.
Yep. And again, this kind of goes into in PvP being able to be more mobile, is that now you can stun someone from 10 meters instead of having to stand right next to them. And again, in the utilities is really where a lot of the other mobility is that I talked about earlier. So, yes.
Oh, Eric, just for you.
So
we talked earlier about, things like uprisings have a lot of ads and mobs that attack you in big waves, and it's important everyone has the ability to AoE in the situations that you need to. And so one of those adjustments that came from that philosophy of those designers working the combat team was, hey, then we really need to make sure the operatives and scoundrels have a solid AoE. Yeah. And so here it is. It looks pretty cool.
I will jokingly say, you guys know I referenced my boss Keith all the time. He plays an operative main. The amount of times he would go to our combat team and be like, hey guys, when am I getting orbital strike back? Orbital bombardment back? And so when this ability came out, we're like, oh sweet, we now get AoE. And the really cool thing is, if you're a healer specifically, you can cast this now from 30 meters away. So you now have a ranged AoE, that's very powerful and pretty good. So, and also the animation, the bushwhack animation is so crazy. Just so summon all these crazy spinning blades, pretty legit.
Good old Merc Commando, my favorite. So we've got a new ability to absorb single target damage and reflect half of it. So that's always handy. Plus a heal. So you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Strong
out of
defensive,
this.
right?
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Yeah.
Really help you get through those tougher fights, maybe especially in veteran and master mode. As you're getting into those.
Yeah, one of the things we heard
plus some really awesome effects there.
One of the things we heard for a long time with Mercs and Commando is we want more mobility, we want more survivability.
Yeah.
Code Fee, you got the ability to rock it out. Now you have a absorb reflect that heals.
Can't complain too much.
That's all right. That's all right.
I just saw the I approve this change in chat. Thank you.
I happen to play Merc also. Play Merc and Operative, so I was very excited about those
And
two sets of changes.
I tend to play Commando a lot.
Yeah.
No particular reason.
Yep.
And then for Powertechs and Vanguards, we're kind of swapping out the Flamethrower and the Pulse Cannon, which have been removed. These are kind of new abilities that you can see are sort of a similar shotgunny hit out, but not that stand there and channel it. It's sort of the quick, quick blast.
Yeah, one of the big things that you guys will notice, because there's actually 3 slides dedicated to Powertech and Vanguard, is that kind of the goal was to make sure to focus them into melee and make sure that they were highly mobile. So channeling largely out, although I'm lying because the next slide has channeling.
But you can move and channel in next one.
Correct.
And it's the best new ability because it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Should we get onto it?
Yeah, I think we probably should. Yep. Because when I saw the words replaces Death from Above and Mortar Volley, I was like, oh, those are some of my favorite animations. And then I saw these, I was like, oh, actually, no, that's okay. That's all right.
And again, that's
and
only
Mercs and Troopers Commandos, keep the Death from Above and Mortar Volleys.
Right.
Yep.
But those are so sweet. Look at all those missiles.
It's
so good. Love it.
And an additional ability, again, just to what Eric said, rounding out some of the arsenal, making sure that the classes fit in with the fantasies and the intent of them is adding, Shatter Slug and Flak Shell as well.
Oh, good. It's not really a question, but someone said, but Flamethrower is so iconic. It's not. I kind of lied when I said it's removed from the game because it is still part of your heroic moment. If you have completed Chapter 3 of the original story on a bounty hunter or a commando, or on a bounty hunter, you'll get Flamethrower as your ability from that. So you can still get Flamethrower if you want it. It's just tied to your heroic moment and not a class ability. Just as a note, because it is pretty iconic to shoot flames out of your wrist.
Yeah. Ooh, anniversary awards.
That was all the cool new animations and abilities.
Correct.
Of course, it doesn't cover all the new utilities that we created. It doesn't cover all the changes that were created. They'll be in the detailed patch notes that Tate will post Monday evening.
Yep, there's a ton of it. So, the 5-year anniversary awards. It's our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
It is.
December 20th.
Just like that.
December 20th is our